that's where the light's coming from. But that goes to my telescope. It's a battery pack slash lamp, multi-level brightness lamp. It's nice. It's handy. Plus, it's a battery pack, so I can charge my phone up at the same time that I'm recording. So it's dark. My cable keeps sliding because the table's icy. It's cold out. It got cold out. Let's see. We got the half a moon is shining, a bunch of stars. Most of the constellations that were out earlier this evening are gone. They're Hasta La Vista baby settled in the western horizon. Peter Bittner. Hi, Peter. Good to see you, friend. Maybe my fourth time on Haps today. How about that? And thank you for the mention. Cool. Yeah, I did a kind of a cook show thing earlier, maybe earlier. I've been outside most of the day testing lighting. I got in my kitchen window, which I'm looking up at now, is a Wi-Fi rerouter, and I can do anything in the backyard. I got a pretty big backyard, and I can do anything back here with a decent signal. So I'm really happy. Hap signal's been incredibly good, and I know it's a phone thing, and that is my the iPhone 10 with the particular cellular software right now that they have in there for the last update. Because I ride all the betas, I do all the beta testing for iOS. I enjoy that, always have. But Wi-Fi wise, beautiful. But on cellular, it's the phone. It's kind of a sad thing. But yes, it's late at night. I got my camping. Not my camping. My really bright. See how bright this sucker is. That's for my telescope. It powers the scope as well as auxiliary equipment, laptops. I do a lot of high resolution, deep space stuff. Like this would have been a decent night if it wasn't for the moon. Would have been a decent night for doing a Orion Nebula, and that's just a tiny, tiny part of the entire Orion constellation, which is massive in the sky. Once you've seen it, you'll never forget it. It stands out that well. But you got a half a moon, and that half a moon is really beating the crap out of stuff in the sky. It did earlier. If you're still here, Peter, I did earlier. I was trying to track the International Space Station as it went over, and I did take a couple of screenshots, and I did see it. I knew I could see it on the camera as I was doing the recording, but it was not one of the brighter nights. It was like a minus 2.4, which is not all that bright. And the height was good. It wasn't a matter of the height, but if it could have been brighter, it would have showed up a lot better on Habs. So let's see, 6 whole people watching this. This was a test. That's kind of why I came out here. Wanted to see where I could move the lamp to and not blind myself, but at the same time see that, there we go. See that the picture quality is pretty good. I'm trying to get my whole head lit up without blowing your eyeballs out with the reflection off the glasses. And they're just cheater glasses. I wear contacts these days, which I can see the screen. It's a little close. That's why I wear the cheaters, a little bit close. But so I've been running Haps through the grinder with a little bit I do of Haps, but it's fun. It's the new home. It's the only place I'll broadcast now for sure, and I enjoy it each day. Another little surprise in operating system. I hear Peter's probably gone. I haven't seen him do anything for a while, but when it comes to green screen or that virtual green screen stuff like Zoom uses, I think I heard you guys still here. Good, Peter. Is that true? Is that something coming down the road? Maybe soon. Is a green screen or other such option working on a virtual green screen. It is cool. I like to give it a help and give it at least a solid background. If you can give it a solid background, typically speaking, it doesn't have to be a green screen thing. But a solid background makes it a whole lot easier for the software to try to figure out what you're trying to show on there. I've done a few Zoom meetings the last couple of weeks, and one time we have a huge window curtain across our bay window in the front, it's blue in color. I just parked myself in front of there, gave myself a virtual background, and it looked terrific. I do get a problem with my hair that kind of goes gray on me. Yes, won't be right away, but it is on the list. That's cool. Whoops, let me go back here a little bit. Tune into our community question and answers, and tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. working for the details on what we're working on. Excellent, will do. Orion Nebula is clear here for in Forest Hills at high elevation. I personally have seen it, but neighbors here are into pictures and capturing it. Yeah, just looking at it. I mean, you can the actual nebula itself. See, I'm in a Bordeaux class 5 zone, and the sky's not the brightest thing to want to look at. You know, it's hazy a lot of the time, and so the only way I can see some things like Orion's Nebula, which is a gaseous nebula, where stars are born. It's just a tiny little. It's like it's almost like you got a speck of crap on binoculars when you're looking up at Orion, and you look into Orion's belt, 3 stars, kind of equally spaced apart on an angle about that. Right below there, you can see a little smudge, and that's Orion's Nebula. Now you take, you know, a 30-second video, do that 600 times, roughly, you know, and have the software merge it all together, and you bring out all that incredible color. And it's not a very big picture; it's only 320 by 240, but you've taken so many high-res pictures, and you stack them on top of each other, and the telescope moves right along perfectly like it's supposed to. So everything gives you nice round, perfectly round stars. And then to see the nebula, I've got some really good pictures I should share out here, because because Todd, they're just, it's even in a crappy area like this. I mean, with binoculars, I can make out if the moon's on the other side of the planet. I can pretty well make out most of that stuff. And that's it. That's, you have to stack it, um, and that's a shame because there's a lot of places you could go and you're still going to look smudgy up in the sky, but it's going to really be pronounced. And that's just one example. Andromeda is another big one. Andromeda is already set off to our west, and to the southwest right now is where Orion's going. And straight up, I'm kind of blinded by that light, but yeah, straight up I can see Gemini up there. Hercules is a little bit to the north, just a little bit to the north. Uh, so I get a good view. I can tell what I'm looking at, but I can't compare them really to a lot of the astronomy charts and things like that. Like, I've got great apps, like, you know, the ones that work as you rotate your hand, the whole sky rotates. If I see something like up in the sky, if I see something and I hold the phone up to there, it tells me what it is. It's right on the money. It's crazy how great the software is. That's which one is that called? That's not Star Sense. Although I have Star Sense in here. Um, Man, what the heck is the name of that? I don't want to lose this by jumping off of here. But just, it's super excellent program. I got a dozen different astronomy apps in here, and you know, literally speaking, without having a telescope, you could absolutely be an astronomy kind of a person just by watching the sky on your phone. Just going out, you can do it in your living room or whatever. It doesn't matter. You just, you know where your directions are. It tells you right there where everything's pointed, and you can just go around your room and look at different places in the sky every night and see how the progression works, how everything works across the sky, not just in a single night, but it changes as the seasons go by. So there's a lot of stuff that I can't see now. Pretty soon, and I'll say about a month or so. Speaking about Orion, is going to be so low in the horizon, and sun's going to set so late in the evening. I won't even see Orion. Orion will be gone until next winter, next fall, maybe into winter, something like that. But yeah, Orion's, it's an easy one to look at. I like to describe it as a kind of like a playing card. Yeah, Betelgeuse, Safe, Rigel, and Bellatrix are the 4 main stars. And then you got, it looks like a kite in the center, the 3 stars that make up Orion's belt, but it looks like a kite in there. So the whole thing looks like a diamond. maybe an ace of diamonds or something like that. Big diamond in the center with four bright stars to form more or less a rectangle. And show that to people for the first time. I really want to get a laser pen. It's just it's so far down the list of things that you need in life. It's a luxury that I really wouldn't use. But you use a green laser, and that thing, when you point at a star, planet, whatever you point at, no matter where the person's standing around you, they see you pointing at it. They see exactly what you're pointing at. You don't have to try to line stuff up, yeah, because it doesn't work with anything but a green laser. You see all these TV shows, they always show the red lasers, oh, don't trip the red laser. We can't see red lasers. We see where it hits, but we don't see it in space between here and there. That we can't do. You need a colored, something in our vision range, and the green ones are perfect for that. So you shine it at a star, and that person just sees a beam of light going to that star. It goes far enough we can see it, and we assume that it's going the rest of the way, although of course it's not. But it's a neat thing, and they go about $70, something like that. A while ago, talk about frivolous. A while ago, this was just before I was going to retire. I bought myself a copper pen. It's by Olight. I would not recommend this. It's got a flashlight built in, and the flashlight's nice. It's got three different. Why am I? Sorry. There we go. It's got three different settings. So low, medium, and high brightness. Plenty of brightness for what you need to do. More bright than the light, the flashlight on your cell phone. More, it's brighter than that. And it's a pen. It's a good pen, except that the cartridges absolutely suck. They that I should have read more reviews before I bought this thing, truthfully, because it was John. Do you like Habs better than Periscope? Stan, get to that in just 1 second. So the pen was frivolous. I don't use it. The ink cartridges suck, and I haven't complained about it yet to see if they'll send out any more. But they're just going to send out more of the same ones. They're just faulty to start with, and so many people complain about that. Habs has got so much going for it. It's got one drawback, and it might be me. Maybe I misunderstand that. But if I screw up a show and I want to get rid of that show, and I've broadcasted it to Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and Periscope, and I want to get rid of that thing, I got to hop all over the place and get rid of it. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't believe that Habs has the ability to make changes on other people's websites. They're working as liaisons between us and those sites and allowing that stuff to go up there live and things like that. But so many times you screw up when you broadcast a lot, you just don't want to start all over again, or you just totally botched it. And then to go back and clean all that stuff up is a pain. That's the only complaint I have. When it goes over to YouTube, when it goes over, maybe YouTube too. When it goes over to Facebook, it gives it closed captions. Facebook does that, I assume. I don't see that on Habs, but it's a cool thing. Probably nobody would use but me. My wife and I, we have closed captions on television all the time. Every show, every series, everything, closed captions always on. I don't like to blow the TV set out the window, with the sound. It's just too loud. So we'll cut that down. If we miss anything, we can just read it. It makes it a whole lot easier. Now, you got Netflix and you got Prime, or the kind of the two biggies, right? And I'm sitting out here. There is ice all over this picnic table. I mean, I'm scraping ice off onto my fingernails here. Literally ice out here, so it's cold. I'm gonna warm my head up a little bit. There we go. What I do to, well, I almost said scope. Oh my God, what I do to broadcast, what I do to Habs. There we go. That's actually quite a bit better right there. But yeah, I do like it, Stan. I do like this a lot. For a bunch of reasons. It's got some stuff they're working on. The idea of the virtual green screen, we were talking about that just maybe 10 minutes ago now. That thing is really cool, and if implemented right, it's a beautiful thing to have. I can't divulge where I'm using Zoom right now. By law, I'm not allowed to say such a thing. But but I got to use HAPS now for 3 weeks. It's quite, it's not HAPS, again, I mess it up, Zoom quite a bit. And I've been doing it with, believe it or not, just my little tablet for Amazon 10-inch HD Fire tablet. And it works great. It's working really, really well. Of course, it's got that handicap. It's an Android device, but you know, we can work with those if we have to. But but on a serious note, it works out quite well. It beats me having to drag out the laptop just to do that. So I like the quickness of unfolding the tablet, turning it on, and I'm done. I mean, that's really convenient. But a virtual background would be nice. I do want to do it more of a talk show format, just hang out like this. You know, this is a bad time of night to come on, obviously. Again, I'm testing light. It should be black as could be everywhere behind me. I mean, black as black gets, except for me because of the light, because I can't see squat. I see my kitchen window lights on, and that's about it. And I'm about 25 feet, maybe, directly to the Wi-Fi rerouter, which has been working really well throughout the whole backyard. I've been all over the place back here the last few days testing that out. And the thing is working really, really, really great, really great. So, so no matter if you like Periscope, what did I like about Periscope that's not here? I mean, that might be a more appropriate question. Private room. Private room's a big one for me. To be able to go in and practice a cooking show, the setup of the pots and the pans and the food and the prep area and all that stuff, and be able to run the camera from 2 or 3 different places and do it in my own room without people watching is a real benefit to have a private room. Now, is that a private room for yourself? Is that a private room for you and other people? So now that we have private rooms, is that something that's coming to HAPS now? I don't know. I'm kind of assuming they're developing everything as they can. Now, we always see Peter and we always see Pablo. It's funny, though, when you go to HAP's website, their picture ain't nowhere. They're like the community. Yeah, they're us. They come in here, they communicate with us. They're our liaisons with HAPS. I assume. I haven't really seen these other people. Saw one older guy one time. I don't remember what he looked like to compare him to any of the pictures. But the fair thing is, I mean, they deal with real money. You know, you got to get $200 to cash out with HAPS. Not a problem. When it happens, kind of a thing. Periscope was always shady about that. There we go. Let me get there a little more. Really shady with that. That whole Super Hearts thing was such a ripoff. Took me, close to 3 years to get paid $131, and it didn't. It took them to have to go bankrupt or close up their accounts or whatever they do here by the 31st of March to pay me. Otherwise, I never would have seen it. HAPS, you got real dollars and cents numbers up on the screen. I mean, how cool is that? You as someone who gives to a broadcaster, you see your money actually get tallied up there. Broadcaster gets the feedback that they're doing something to somebody liked, which is great. So I'd like to do more. I would like to do more of a talk format. I got to get out here when there's more people around. They're a rather small crowd. The other thing that was always really nice to have, and I don't see it here yet, is the how many people are in this room live. I don't care about how many's watching on Facebook, how many's on YouTube. I just sent you 3 pictures on Messenger. Oh, okay, Todd. The only place I use Messenger is on my desktop, which goes to my TV set, but I'm sure I'll definitely see them. I don't have it. I don't keep it in my phone. I won't use Messenger. I hate Messenger. Despise it. Hate it. Yuck. I'm just not a Messenger person. I find it to be intrusive. Anything that tells people, oh, he's on. I don't want people to know I'm on. No, I don't. I hear my wife upstairs doing something. Maybe she's working around the sinks or something, the sink or something like that. I don't know. I can hear her up there though. But I'll check Messenger. Like I say, that's on on my desktop computer is the only place I see Messenger. So, but thank you. Uh, and so I'm hooked up with this battery system. I was trying to show it off, but it's really hard because it's where the light's coming from. But it's a battery pack that's yay big, pretty big. Okay, and it's got ports on the top to plug USB stuff into, so my phone stays charged. Plus, I got the light. Now I can go ahead and jockey that light around. Can you do a walk scope sometime soon? I think go. Hi, go. I've done. I swear I've done two since I've been on here, but the time adds up pretty quick. I'm 33 days in a row. I've signed in here now, something like that. Um, but yeah, I would like to do a something I haven't done in a long time. I got to be conscious of the time. It's going on 11 o'clock, and I'm outside, and I got neighbors. Um, more conscious than they are. Let's put it that way. But walk wise, I would love to do deep fried wok wings. I haven't done them in 20 years. They're incredible, absolutely incredible. Tons of garlic and peppercorn go in there, and it just sits there and cook it on high. And you got 20 wings, and the wok holds a ton of wings, and just cook them things until they're beautiful brown. Oh, thank you so much, Todd. Appreciate that. I like I like awards. Thank you so much. But yeah, the chicken wings, believe it or not, is that in the ginger goes in there. So it's got a lot of stuff going. Destroys the oil. It's a one use oil. You're not getting any secondary use out of this. The amount of peppers. Now Tracy does not eat wings, so this is mine, and it's going to be spicy. So I typically used 20 to 30 or maybe more, both bulbs of garlic, cloves of garlic, not bulbs, um, and say about a quarter cup of peppercorn or so. This is for a batch of 20 to 30 wings, whatever the number might be. Let's say 20, good number. And then all the ginger. Um, what else goes in there? I'm missing something else. I put a lot of stuff in. But these wing places you go to, it's sad to me. What they do is their oil stays kind of good forever because they just cook the wings in it. They just do wings. They don't do they don't do the spice until the wing comes out of the oil. So you got the same wing everybody else has, just a different seasoning on it. I'm not into that. Bob Grimes is in the house. Hi, Bob. Is a telescope night? No, no. It should be. It's a half a moon, making it a little bit tough. I am outside. It's chilly out here. Got my navy jacket on. But I wanted to try my battery pack that goes with the telescope. Use that as to charge the phone, which that'll run this phone for hours and hours. Plus give me my light source at the same time. I could hold the button. I could go with the red light. Let me see if I can go with the red. Whoops. There we go. Okay, so that's my telescope night seeing light. There's two of them. I know it's a horrible color. Off again, hold it down, and go back to three different brightnesses of the white light out of there. And it's all LEDs, so they last a long time as far as the brightness goes. This is a new technology on the ion lithium battery. Forget what it's actually called, but it charges extremely quick, holds a charge a long time, and it'll give you a warning it's going to go off, but it'll drop power like that. But it'll give you the maximum amount of power until it can't do it anymore. Then it depletes automatically, which I kind of like. Instead of it slowly draining and your light getting dimmer and dimmer and dimmer, I want as much brightness as I can. That's what the light's on for, correct? And then go ahead and have it tell me, okay, in 2 minutes I'm shutting down, which it will. Then I got to adjust to it somehow. I guess is probably the easiest way to put it. So I'm just heading back. I'm going back in. It's cold out here. It's below 30. It was 50. What did I say? 58 degrees today. I did a lot of shows today, short ones, testing out the camera, testing out the Wi-Fi, stuff like that. I sat back at the back fence way back there, and it was working totally great. That and I was showing off the bluebird. I said blueberry again. Doggone it, butterfly bushes. I trimmed them all up the last couple of days, and there's 18 all the way around a big giant U shape there. That's my backyard and two side yards, and a lot of them I just clipped about 10 inches. They say to do that every year. I'm new to the butterfly bush thing, so that scares me a little. Watch out for the Jersey Devil. I'll tell you what. I mean, this is the kind of night. If he's going to pop his head out, it's going to be tonight. It's dark out, even with a half a moon. I mean, if I kill this light, I know it gets dark, right? If I kill that light, it gets dark real quick. I see the stars well. Can't wait for my eyes to adjust, but I can see the stars well, and of course the moon's still shining up there, really bright. Would have been a good night for the telescope, except there's so much frost on this table. I sat down and my butt got wet after a second after the frost thawed out, but this table's totally covered with ice. I'm just scraping here. See if I can. You can see the scratches. Yeah, I'm out here in the cold, that's for sure. So listen, good night, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Todd. Thank you for the donation. Really appreciate that, Bob. Good to see you. And I'm going to go in and see if Tracy's still awake. And either way, I think make a cup of hot tea is what I'm going to do. Sarah, hi and bye to you, Sarah. Good to see you for probably the fourth time today, something like that. Thank you so much for coming in. And just doing a nighttime test, really, to see my battery pack charges the phone like it should, and it does, and it did. It's at 100% and still kicking here. And I got my light source also, so I get pretty well. I mean, without breaking my neck too bad, I think. Oh, I should really aim this toward the yard. Oh yeah, if I aim it toward me, I can't see the yard. Let me do something here. Oh, does that work? I don't think I have the brighter of the two settings on. Yeah, it's blurry. I say I could walk around the yard and try to see the trees, but that's just not cutting it. I got to get really close to start making sense out of the trees. Oh, there we go. But the moon's up there still looking at us. Oh, I did though. Although the let me turn this back around. On my Facebook page, I have a picture. I captured a screen picture from trying to catch the space station earlier, and I did catch a picture of it. That's for about 15 seconds. It was just enough to look for it. You really, it looked like a pixel on the screen, a black screen with like a gray pixel. The limits of our technology that we use is really what it gets down to, I guess. But so I did get a picture on there. Just John Cooks. Look for a picture of me. That's it. You're there. So going in, guys. Freezing my tail off. Good, and I'll see you tomorrow. And Bob, just if you're still there, just to mention, I'm working on a setup where I can play gin rummy again. So expect that to be coming back pretty soon. Pretty soon. Good night, guys. Have a good night. See you.